So good morning once again, dear students of class 11 and also the students of class 12. Today we are going to take up pages 48 and 49 of the Tempest from your textbook. So if you remember that in our last Tempest video, we had finished up to the end of page 47. So today we are going to take up page 48 and page 49. The next two pages. Now on your screen coming up is page 48 and this is the Tempest, and you have mention of act and scene, act 1, scene 2. So just in case you have missed out on anything, you can ask me. I can once again make the previous video available, but as of now let us read what is going on here in this scene. Now we know that Ferdinand and Miranda have met, and then Miranda has taken a liking for Ferdinand, and then Prospero tries to make the situation serious by trying to make the moment very difficult for both Miranda and Ferdinand, because he is a careful father and he does not want that winning Miranda so easily should actually happen, because if that happens, the value of Miranda could become less in future for Ferdinand, and that's the reason why he is so very careful, and that's why he's trying to purposely make the situation difficult for the two young people who have just fallen in love. They are not even aware of the fact that they have fallen in love, but love has actually started brewing between Ferdinand and Miranda. Now let's try to see what is there in this scene. I'm zooming in a little bit so that it's easier for you to follow. So let's just have a look. So page 48. Speak not you for him, he is a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. So Prospero is saying, don't speak in favor of this man, because I believe that he is a traitor. And then he speaks to Ferdinand. He says, come here, let me chain you up. So there will be a chain round your neck, and the loose end of the chain will be again attached to another chain which will be buckling up your feet. So I will be connecting your neck with your feet by means of a chain. So come, I'll manacle you, your neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink, thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels. So you will get to drink only sea water, not any kind of fresh water, not even wine or any other kind of drink, only sea water. From now on you will be getting to drink sea water, and you will be allowed to eat only mussels. And what is mussels? These are a kind of sea fish. So you will be getting only this. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels. Okay, so not from the sea, the mussels or the fish will be caught from the fresh water rivulets or brooks, water bodies or streams of water. So from there, and withered roots and husks, and you will be given withered or dried up roots of certain plants to eat, and the husks wherein the acorn cradled follow. So he says husks with the acorn inside them. So you will be given to eat that. Acorn is nothing but corn. So you will get the outer covering. So corn with its outer cover, you will be given that to eat, and you will be given certain roots to eat, and you will be given certain freshwater fish to eat, and you will be given sea water to drink. Now follow me, come with me. So in a way, Prospero is trying to give the impression that he is converting Ferdinand into his slave. And just as slaves are treated with just about things which are not really eaten by normal people, in the same way he says that you will get to eat only these things. Ferdinand opposes whatever Prospero has said, and he says, no, I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power. No, I will be resisting this kind of treatment. Entertainment here means treatment. So, I am going to oppose it. I am going to oppose. I am going to resist. I am going to defend myself. I am not going to take or not going to accept all this. For that, you have to have more power than me. If you are my enemy, you should have more power than me. Otherwise, I am merely not going to listen to your words. You have to overpower me. In other words, you have to prove that you are more powerful than me, so that I am forced to follow you. But simply merely by saying that I have to do these things, sorry, I am not going to do that. So he opposes. And saying this, Ferdinand tries to draw out his sword, draws, and is charmed from moving. The moment he takes out his sword from his belt, a spell is cast on him. Prospero casts a spell on him, and he becomes frozen like a statue. He cannot move. He becomes frozen. Now Miranda says, "Oh dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he is gentle and not fearful." Oh my dear father, please don't give him this kind of treatment, this type of trial, or this type of judgment, and just like a convict is tried out in a court of law. Don't treat him like this, because I feel that he is a very gentle person and he is not at all terrifying. He is not at all terrifying. He does not scare me. He is not a scary person, and he is a very gentle person. Now Miranda has taken a liking for Ferdinand. That's the reason she is speaking like this. But Prospero is, this was actually Prospero's plan. Ferdinand was separated from the rest of the royal party and brought near Prospero's cell, so that Ferdinand should meet Miranda and the two of them should fall in love. Because Prospero knows that his daughter has reached marriageable age. In those days, marriageable age was 12 or 13 for a girl, and Miranda was already 15 plus. So Prospero was like a true father looking for a perfect match. And because Miranda was a princess, only a prince could become her husband. But at the same time, though all this is preordained by Prospero with the help of Ariel, he wants to make the situation a bit tough for both the lovers. Let them fall in love, but they should not get each other so easily. Because if they do, then they will not value the love. Love will gradually fade away. So, if both of them struggle to get each other and then finally get each other, they will love each other forever. So this is Prospero's philosophy as a father-in-law, and that's the reason why he is creating all this unnecessary confusion. And so Prospero replies when Miranda pleads in favor of Ferdinand. This is Prospero's reply, line number 540. Prospero says, "What I say, my foot, my tutor." I say, my foot, my tutor. Now see, the meaning is explained alongside. Just look at the meaning. What does it say? Am I to take this kind of lecture, this kind of advice, or what I should do, my inferior will tell me? Foot is the lowest part of your body, which lies under you. So he compares Miranda to his foot, and he says, being my daughter, you are giving me lecture. I have to learn from you what I should do. Is that so? And then he turns to Ferdinand and he says, "Put thy sword up, traitor. Keep your sword. Put your sword away. Put thy sword up, traitor." Meaning to say, put your sword away. "Who makest a show but darest not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt." Because you are only showing me your sword, you have taken it out as if to strike me, but you are not able to strike me. And why? Because in your mind there is guilt. You know very well that you are guilty. So with a guilty mind, you cannot strike someone who is right. So in front of Miranda, Prospero is trying to give the impression that Ferdinand is not able to strike him because of his guilt. But actually, Prospero has cast a spell on Ferdinand, which he doesn't want Miranda to understand. Come from thy ward, meaning to say, now give up this attitude to fight. This attitude of fighting or trying to fight with me that you are displaying right now, give it up. Enough. For I can here disarm thee with this stick. Because here, right now, with this stick of mine, remember Prospero is holding his magic stick in his hand. He says, with this stick of mine, I can disarm you. I can cause you to drop your weapon and make thy weapon drop. Miranda says, beseech you, father. I request you, dad. I request you, father. Look at this girl. And Prospero says, hence, hang not on my garments. Miranda is holding on to Prospero's robe or the long flowing dress which he is wearing. Miranda is grabbing that to request him, dad, please listen to me, dad, please listen to me. But Prospero says, hence, move away. Hence means move away. Don't hang on my dress. Miranda, sir, have pity. I'll be his surety. So Miranda is begging her father, sir, have pity. In those days, it was customary to refer to one's father by the term sir and one's mother by the term ma'am. So nowadays, we don't do that. But in those times, it was common. So, sir, have pity is a request to Prospero being made by Miranda that please have pity on this man. I will stand for his surety. I will be his guarantor. I will be the person taking his responsibility as a guarantor. You can see the meanings alongside. It's explained. Prospero says, silence. One word more shall make me chide thee. Now be quiet. If you speak one word more, it will cause me to scold you. Chide means to scold. I don't want to scold you, but now I'll scold you. Isn't he already scolding? He is. Yet, he is saying this. If not, hate thee. And if I don't scold you, then I'll start hating you. What? An advocate for an impostor? What? Are you trying to become an advocate? Advocating, just as an advocate or a lawyer pleads in favor of his customer or his client. In the same way, are you trying to plead on behalf of him? Do you know what he is? He is an impostor. He is a pretender. He has come here to occupy what belongs to us. Hush, be quiet. Therefore, don't talk. Be quiet. Hush. Thou thinkest there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban? Foolish wench. You think that there can be no other human being as handsome, as good looking as him, because you have seen him and Caliban only and not any other human being ever in your life? You are a foolish girl. Wench means girl. To the most of men, this is a Caliban. To the most of the people, the most of the men in the world, this man is just like Caliban. Because he is ugly. You haven't seen other men, so you don't know. Among all other men, this man will be termed as a Caliban. Termed as ugly as Caliban. We move to page 49. So, he is to be considered no better than Caliban. And they to him are angels. And in comparison, all other men of the world are like angels. Compared to this man, other men in this world, they are like angels. So they to him are like angels. Miranda says, my affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man. If that is the case, then I must say that my emotions, my feelings are very, very humble. And I don't wish to see anyone better than him. For me, he is the best. Miranda is fully in love with Ferdinand. And love is causing her to speak like this. Now Prospero speaks to Ferdinand. He does not reply to Miranda's response. He says, come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor in them. Come on now, obey whatever I tell you, because your nerves have now gone back to the days of your childhood. They have no strength left in them. Just as a child, newborn child is so helpless. Everything needs to be done for that child by the parents, by the elders, by the family members. Because the child cannot do anything by itself except move maybe its arms and limbs a little bit and cry when it is hungry. So, come on, obey, because now your nerves have gone back to the days of your childhood, your infancy, in fact, your infanthood. And they don't have any strength left in them. So when Prosper is saying this, actually he is casting yet another spell by saying this. It's a kind of hypnosis. You have no strength left. Now you have no strength left, and automatically the person starts feeling that he is really without any strength. So this is magic. And Prospero is making good use of his liberal art. Ferdinand says, so they are. Ferdinand can speak, but he cannot move. So they are. Yes, you are right. That's what they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My spirits, as if in a dream I am, feeling this, that my spirits are bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, nor this man's threats, to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I, but through my prison once a day, behold this maid. So, now everything has become insignificant to me. My father's loss, the death of my father. He believes that his father is dead. So he says, my father's loss. Then the weakness which I am feeling now in my body, and the death of all my friends in the shipwreck, and the threats being given to me by this man, who has now brought me under his power. He has overcome me by overpowering me. But all these have become very insignificant for me right now. Could I possibly request you that even if you are making me your prisoner, at least once a day, may I request you to allow me to have a look at this young girl, this maid. Maid refers to Miranda. He is requesting Prospero that he is ready for imprisonment. He will be in prison. But once in a day, he would like to have his eyes on the object of his love. Love at first sight. And that is none other but Miranda. All corners else of the earth let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison. Now this is really romantic on the part of Ferdinand. He says that even if the rest of the world is a free world, and even if I have to live inside a small prison cell, for me that prison cell will become sufficient space for liberty if I am able to see this girl once in a day. After that, I have no regrets. I will happily spend my days in the prison, in the small cell where I am locked up, and consider that cell as my entire world if I am able to see this girl. What is Ferdinand doing? He is saying that after seeing Miranda, he has forgotten everything else, even his father's death, his friends who have died, lost at sea because of the shipwreck, does not really matter anymore to him. All he wants is to have a glimpse of Miranda daily, and then he can happily spend the rest of his life inside a prison, inside the cell. And he can consider that small space enough or sufficient space for him even if he is not at liberty to go to any part of the world. So this is an expression of Ferdinand's love for Miranda. Prospero speaks aside. Now this aside, as you always know, is meant for the audience, and so he says it works. It is working. What is working? What he had wanted, that these two should look at each other and fall in love, it has happened. He can see both Miranda and Ferdinand's pleas. He can hear those. They are both pleading with him. So it is working. The magic of love is working between these two young souls, Ferdinand and Miranda. Come on, he speaks to Ferdinand. Thou hast done well, fine Ariel. He tells Ferdinand, come on. He's calling him. He wants to take him away to some other place where he's either going to imprison him or buckle him up with chains, as he has said, or maybe put him into some kind of slavish task. We will find out soon. And he praises Ariel. He says, thou hast done well, fine Ariel. My brave spirit Ariel, you have really done a great job. Again to Ferdinand he speaks, follow me. And then again to Ariel he says, hark, what thou else shalt do me. Listen to what else you have to do for me. I will give you some more instructions. Ariel, listen to me. Miranda is saying to Ferdinand in the meantime, while Prospero is speaking to Ariel. Maybe there is a little bit of gap between Prospero and Ferdinand and Miranda, who are right behind. So Miranda says, be of comfort. My father's of a better nature, sir. Relax. Be of comfort means relax. I can assure you that my dad has a better nature than he appears here, than he appears by speech. The way he is speaking right now, and the way you are judging him on the basis of that speech, don't judge him, because he is actually a good man. This is unwanted, which now came from him. This is something which I find unusual. He has never before behaved like this. I am seeing this for the first time, so he never does speak like this. So don't worry, my father is of a better nature. Prospero says, thou shalt be as free as mountain winds. Prospero is speaking to Ariel. You will be as free as the winds that blow in the mountains, but then exactly do all points of my command. But then do exactly whatever task I am giving you, point by point. Don't miss out anything. Ariel says, to the syllable. Yes, to the exact detail I will perform. Don't worry, sir. I will carry out each and every task that you give me to the smallest detail. Prospero says, come follow. Come follow me. And you, come follow, is said to Ferdinand, and the rest of the speech. Speak not for him is spoken to Miranda. Don't speak in favor of him. Excellent. They go out and the scene comes to an end. So we have finished with Act 1, Scene 2 of the Tempest with page number 49. So I think it was 49. Yes, it was. So we have just finished with Act 1, Scene 2. And in our next video tutorial, we will be taking up the next scene, and we will be continuing with the Tempest. So that's it. I hope you have understood my explanation. You can also go through the notes which are provided on the sides of the text on each and every page. So you will not have any doubts. And if you still have some doubts, you can clarify your doubts by asking me the question when we have the live interactive session through Google Meet. So that's it. Thank you very much.